Welcome to Corporate Challenge Events and our first Facebook Live session for 2017. This year we're going to be providing you with a monthly session, and those sessions are going to be very much targeted around helping give you some simple ideas about how to create a positive team culture within your organisation. Why? You may ask, why are we doing this? It's because, in simple, we believe at Corporate Challenge Events, and I'm very passionate about it, and so are my team, we're very much passionate about helping you create a positive team culture in your organisation. How we do it is that we practice what we preach. We have 3 departments, which I'm going to introduce you to a little more in a moment. And those 3 departments are our team building, our conference and events department, and our corporate training, newly formed corporate training department. And we use those departments within our own internal organisation to make sure that we're practicing a positive team culture. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to Rachael Ziccone. She's our National Conference and Events Manager, and she is going to talk us through and introduce us a little bit more about how conference and events can help create a positive team culture. Thanks for your time, Rachael.
No problem. Hi,
Excellent. So look, as I just alluded to there, conference and events. What is conference and events about, and how can it help create a positive team culture in an organisation?
Sure. Well, essentially, conference and events, it's a planning service where we manage your logistics of your event. I think, how does it promote a positive team culture? It's really about the event itself and the environment where we can promote that positive team culture. I think events are really about taking attendees and delegates out of the everyday stresses of the office and bringing them to the event where they can network on more of a base level. So when you remove yourself from the office, you're not looking at different hierarchies. Everybody's on the same level, and it really promotes that networking opportunity.
Absolutely. And so in terms of what sort of advice that you can give people about things that they can incorporate into their conferences or their next event?
Yeah, sure. So basically, when you contract with Corporate Challenge, you get assigned a professional conference organiser. It's at that point that we sit down with our clients and we really, pull the event apart and work out the demographic of your audience. So we want to really try and engage your audience and promote the positive team culture on what works for that particular group of delegates. So there's a number of different ways we can incorporate that into an agenda. And some of the types of content that we may include is using our partner services like team building and also corporate training. Also sourcing motivational guest speakers. Could be nightly entertainment. It's really, the key is finding the balance between theory, play, networking, bringing it all together and making sure that we engage that audience.
Yeah, fantastic. And so maybe putting you on the spot a little bit, but what's one of the most memorable events that you've run which has created positive team culture?
Sure, that is a tough one. There's been quite a few. I would have to say it was a small group. We ran their conference last year. It was only an intimate group of 15. We took them away. It was a regional location. I think that in itself really enhances the culture. And we were able and lucky enough to incorporate all of our services. So we had team building on board, we had some corporate training included, we were even able to get in a guest speaker. There was enough strategic planning involved. We had a beautiful long timeline of 3 days. They stayed overnight, and I think by the end of it, it really signified the beginning of something new.
Fantastic. So look, in essence, correct me if I'm wrong, creating the right environment to be able to create and promote a positive team culture is really what conference and events is about.
Absolutely, Dwayne. Yeah, it's really about focusing on creating that environment, getting the positive team culture, and then utilising our suppliers and our partner services to make that happen.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rach.
Thanks,
excellent. Dwayne. All right. So next I'm going to, as I mentioned, our newly formed, and we did a Facebook Live session about mid last year when we did launch this, our corporate training department. Our national manager for that is Anita Kropcasy, and she joins me now. Thanks, Anita.
Hi, Dwayne.
So tell me, corporate training, how can corporate training help create a positive team culture?
Sure. So we're really about educating and upskilling your workforce about your different components of what really creates a great corporate culture. So there's a lot of different programs that we have available, and those they might be you're building trust, but or building It might be communication. There's so many different things. It's a whole lot of programs that basically help people navigate through our current business world, which is quite volatile. It's getting more and more complex. There's so many uncertainties in in the world right now. And it's really about navigating that in a really positive and healthy way that actually creates a great feeling at the end where people feel connected.
So you talked about these programs. What sort of programs are there, and what do you see might be, I suppose, pinnacle in 2017 for organisations?
I think where the world is at the moment, and a lot of the requests are coming through is building trust, as I mentioned earlier, is really important moving forwards compared to considering where we've been and where we're moving to right now.
Yeah.
Also, that some of the longer term programs are also going to be, I think, really popular.
Yeah.
Where we work with a company and understand and partner with them to make some adjustments on what needs to happen to get that great corporate culture. Put some clear, measurable points in so that we know how to track progress, we can adjust things along the way, and we can make sure that it's absolutely effective, and we can say at the end of it, this is what's been achieved.
Yeah, fantastic. And so one of probably the biggest questions for people out there is corporate training, team building.
Mm-hmm.
How are they different? What is the difference between the two?
Sure. Team building is really short, sharp, fun things to get people collaborating and really have some fun.
Yep.
Whereas corporate training is more about education and upskilling on how to create a great culture.
Fantastic. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dwain.
Thanks a lot. All right, so now we've covered creating a good environment. We've created educating and upskilling your team. Are two key points behind creating a positive team culture. Last, I'd like to introduce to the stage Michael Cromie. He's our head of team building across Australia and New Zealand. Thanks, Michael.
G'day, Dwain. How are you?
How does team building help create a positive team culture?
Look, it's a cracking question that you ask. Look, I think the positive team culture within a team building environment. I think the big thing is about getting the group out of that workplace environment and experiencing a team event where they're not exposed to normal things that they would normally do on a regular basis. And I think, the word team building has changed a lot over the years.
Yeah.
And I think we're really big on bringing that fun aspect to the day. So if you can have that fun experience out on an event, I think bringing that back into the workplace is just huge. So it works well.
Excellent. Now, obviously, you've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. 2017, what do you forecast in 2017 as being our popular programs?
Oh, I think, look, it ranges from, we've been in operation since 1994, delivering some great team building events, whether it be indoors, outside, or even our charity programs. I think some of our outside programs, which is obviously beautiful weather across the country at the moment, programs like our Survivor work really well, but we've had some popular options this year like our Fugitive, or even our Mission Impossible, which is a great, fun program to get outside and solve various challenges around your location. So they work quite well. These indoor options, things like your Safe Crack, Risk Reward, are really good thinking programs that get you to think outside the square a little bit. And then you've got your creative options. So things like our Art in the Day, our company creativity, they're great programs which you can do indoors and out and experience a lot about you as a team. But the question you asked about our most popular, I still believe that our charity options are leading from the front. Going on from last year, we gave away over 1,000 bikes across the country and in New Zealand. And I think as an organisation, when you're giving away 1,000 bikes to kids from various different charities, I think it's fantastic to see, not only from our point of view, but from the groups as well. So it's great.
Excellent. And you know how passionate I am about creating positive team cultures, and I feel that it's something that certainly you are too. And part of that is having a bit of fun. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to throw you a question that we actually haven't pre-rehearsed. Would you like to announce an upcoming new event, charity program, which we know at the moment we've termed Out of the Box, and would you like to maybe give people a little bit of information about just a little taste of this new event that might be coming?
I love when Dwain asks these questions that I wasn't going to get asked before, so that's fantastic, Dwain. Look, Out of the Box is a program that we're developing at the moment, and we're certainly going to be launching this year. It's in conjunction with TLC for Kids. It's going to be a fantastic program that gets groups really thinking outside the box and not knowing what that charity outcome is going to be. I think it's going to be a huge surprise at the end when we can bring Tim in from TLC for Kids and really explain what these items that they use across the country in terms of helping kids get better and getting through that treatment. These distraction items that they use is huge. And if we can try and incorporate that into our program and give out these boxes, I think, Dwain, you mentioned 1,100 boxes yesterday that they'd like to give out this year. So if we can certainly get into that and get those 1,100 boxes out in 2017, I think it's going to be a huge win for everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks, Michael. Sorry to put you on the spot, but
thanks, Dwain. Appreciate it. Catch you later, guys.
All right. So as you can see, and I touched on before, so we've got our education department, which will help to upskill and grow your people. We all know, and there's numerous amounts of research that are out there at the moment that suggest that if your people are growing, they're continually challenged and being upskilled, then they're more likely to stay, and that's part of creating a positive team culture. From our conference and events department, creating the right environment, creating an environment where your team can actually feel part of one unit and feel that they're all going in the right direction, and the right environment to actually get the most out of a workshop or an activity. And then finally our team building department, which is very much around engagement and getting your people together and getting your people understanding each other. We all see it. We see it day in, day out, week in, week out, sporting teams, school teams, community teams. The more you can understand and get to know about each other, the better you're going to be within your organisation. So hopefully these Facebook Live sessions over the next 12 months are going to give you really good insight and, like I said, some really handy tips and how simple it really is to do, but it does need to be a commitment to wanting to do that and do that ongoing. So I hope that you do get something out of this. Please feel free at any time if you've got any queries or questions or you want to challenge me on something. Dwain, DWAIN, at corporatechallenge.com.au. Drop me a line. I'm more than happy to engage in conversation with you. Before we finish up, cameraman, was there any questions that have come through on Facebook Live?
Yes, Dwain, we've got a couple of questions. I think most of them have been covered by Anita, Rachael, and Michael already, but we've got one for Rachael. Rach, I think you've covered part of this already, but Robbie would like to know some tips on designing a staff conference focused on building a great company culture.
Sure, no problems, Robbie. Thanks for the question. I guess some tips around designing a conference. It really comes down to, as I said earlier, about creating that balance, making sure that you have a nice level of theory and also incorporating some play. So giving your delegates enough downtime to give them networking time and then also incorporating some pre-scheduled activities as well that's going to help promote that positive team culture. Hope that answers your question.
Good job. Thanks, Rach. That's it, cameraman.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So again, thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed this session. We look forward to seeing you all out there at some stage. And like I said, do drop me a line if you'd like to. You have any questions or queries. Remember, positive team cultures create success, and hopefully we can see some of that for you. Thanks.